Upset by the failure at the Bay of Pigs, Kennedy was now even more determined to prove his toughness against communism. Later in 1961, he had another opportunity when a new crisis arose over a familiar issue: Berlin. After World War II, the Allies had divided Germany into zones. The United States, Great Britain, the Soviet Union, and France each controlled one sector of the country. While the zones were meant to be temporary, the lines between them had hardened as Cold War tensions increased among the former Allies. In time, the western regions had been combined to form the nation of West Germany. The sector controlled by the Soviet Union became East Germany. The city of Berlin, although located completely inside East Germany, had also been divided among the World War II victors. The Soviet attempt to cut off access to Berlin in 1948 had failed as a result of President Truman's successful Berlin airlift. Now the Soviets made another effort to resolve problems in Berlin on their own terms. They demanded a peace treaty that would make the division of the city permanent. Their goal was to cut off the large flow of East Germans escaping into West Germany, particularly through Berlin. Kennedy feared that the Soviet effort in Germany was part of a larger plan to take over the rest of Europe. According to his fears, his first meeting with Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev in Vienna, Austria in June 1961 went poorly. When Khrushchev made a public ultimatum regarding Germany, Kennedy felt bullied by the Soviet leader. Upon returning home, Kennedy decided to show the Soviets that the United States would not be intimidated. He asked Congress for a huge increase of more than $3 billion for defense. He doubled the number of young men being drafted into the armed services, called up the reserve forces for active duty. At the same time, he sought more than $200 million for a program to build fallout shelters across the country. He argued that the United States had to be prepared if the crisis led to nuclear war. Kennedy appeared on television to tell the American people that West Berlin was the great testing place of the Western courage and will, a focal point where our solemn commitments and Soviet ambitions now meet in basic confrontation. The United States, he said, would not be pushed around. We do not want to fight, but we have fought before. In August 1961, the Soviets responded by building a wall to separate communist and non-communist Berlin. The Berlin Wall became a somber symbol of the Cold War. Still, by stopping the flow of East Germans to the west, the Soviet Union found a way to avoid a showdown over East Berlin. Although the immediate crisis was over, the tensions of the Cold War continued. Speaking in Frankfurt, Germany in June of 1963, Kennedy declared that the United States will risk its cities to defend yours because we need your freedom to protect ours. 2 days later, the president, addressing a cheering crowd near the Berlin Wall, to symbolize his commitment to the city, he concluded his speech with the rousing words, "Ich bin ein Berliner," or "I am a Berliner," or "I am a jelly donut."